My slide is visible.
Sir, your computer screen is visible. I think slide also going to. Yes, sir. Your slide is visible.
Okay. Okay. So we'll discuss regarding PV fed UPQC. UPQC, what is UPQC? Why PV fed is required? And with advanced controller for power quality improvement. So PV fed UPQC with advanced controller for power quality improvement. UPQC is Unified Power Quality Conditioner. So what is that? That also we discuss. Before that, what is power quality? So all of us know little bit idea regarding power quality beforehand also, and within the last 2 days discussion also. So power quality is defined as the degree to which power supply approaches the ideal case of stable, uninterrupted, zero distortion and disturbance free. Stable, uninterrupted, zero distortion and disturbance free. If we will get this type of power, then we can say that our power quality is good. So nowadays power quality issues is critical challenge. Why? Because when we are talking about microgrid, then so many renewables are connected to the microgrid and they require power electronics converter for their integration to microgrid. So that's why more amount of power electronics comes into our power system. So in that way, our power quality deteriorates. So power quality issue is nowadays very acute due to the widespread use of nonlinear power electronics load. What happens when nonlinear load is connected at the load end? It draws nonlinear current from the source. So because of that nonlinear current, it causes nonlinear voltage drop while flowing through the impedance. Impedance means impedance of the path traversed. So from source to load with that impedance, so it develops nonlinear voltage drop. That's why we'll get non-sinusoidal voltage at the load end. So that means when nonlinear load is connected at the load end, it draws nonlinear current from the source so that, and again, nonlinear voltage drop occurs. So due to that, our will get non-sinusoidal voltage at the load end. So that which leads to poor power quality. If you are getting non-sinusoidal voltage at the load end, then we can say our power quality is poor. So effect of power quality problem has serious implication both for the utilities and consumers. So some of them are in a distribution system, the quality of voltage at the load end and quality of current supplied by the grid is a prime concern. Why? Because in the distribution system we are connecting so many sensitive loads such as hospitals, bank security system, air traffic control. So these are very important data are there in bank system. So that's why we want quality supply. Otherwise, they means we may lose data. So that our activity may hamper. So that's why we require good quality of power. So proper solution to the issue of power quality is the need of the hour now. Now coming to UPQC, why we go for UPQC? So before development of UPQC, initially power quality improvement was done by this first people started this the DStatCom or this DStatCom and DVR. So DStatCom means these are one is for the sound controller, another is for series controller. So that means one will handle current quality issue, another will handle the voltage quality issue. But when we require our both current and voltage quality improvement is our objective, then we have to go for UPQC, which is the combination of both DStatCom and DVR. DStatCom generally improves current quality. DVR improves voltage quality. But when we want both, then we have to go for UPQC, which is the combination of both DSTATCOM and DVR. So UPQC offers multiple solutions for power quality issues for both current and voltage simultaneously. Now question, why PV system integrated with UPQC? As we have already discussed in our previous lecture, that people are now more and more concerned about the environmental issue of generation. So increasing concern of environmental issues and growing awareness for greener energy has pushed the renewable energy sources to support the existing power system. This thing we have already discussed during that forecasting lecture. So that means people are nowadays more concerned about their what is the environmental impacts of generation, means which way you are generating power and what is its impact. So when people talk about this thing, then the greener solution is the photovoltaic. So to get dual benefit of clean energy support to grid by using photovoltaic and also power quality improvement for the electronic load, we have to go for PV integration with UPQC. For both way, means power quality improvement and green energy support to grid. So during voltage interruption, if there is presence of renewable energy, then it reduces the complexity of the system. It acts as a backup. It reduces the complexity of the system, and by that way, it provides a reliable supply of power to the consumer. We'll first discuss regarding single-phase PV-tied UPQC. Then we will go for three-phase PV-tied UPQC. So this is the single-phase AC source. This is the nonlinear load. Then this is basically UPQC. One is series converter, another is shunt converter. So they are connected through a DC link capacitor, and this DC link capacitor is fed through a photovoltaic system through a converter. So, and these are for improving, means improving harmonic. If there is any harmonics fed to this is the transformer through which we are injecting voltage. So for improvement of voltage signal, this capacitor is used. So this is just a schematic: source, load, photovoltaic connected through a converter. This is series converter. This is shunt converter. This shunt converter is responsible for current quality improvement. This series converter is responsible for voltage quality improvement by injecting voltage, and this one by injecting current. Now our aim here is how to control these two converters of UPQC, that is series converter and shunt converter, so that whenever there is distortion in maybe in voltage, maybe in current, how our controller is enabled to tackle this situation. Means if current distortion is there, so we have to design our controller so that the distortion may be eliminated. If voltage distortion is there, for example, sag, swell is there, then how our controller will handle this type of situation. That is our objective. First one is PV1 UPQC, means single phase UPQC controller, and first is for this shunt converter, then we'll go for series converter. Since we are talking about single phase case, so in single phase, whatever load current is there, say IL omega t plus phi L is the phase angle. Now load current in alpha beta frame, we have to make this by delaying another by say pi by 2, then two signals we can create, that is IL omega t plus phi L, and another is IL omega t plus phi L plus pi by 2. So delay of pi by 2 given. So say this is alpha component, this is beta component. From this alpha beta component, we can convert this into DQ domain. So ILD and ILQ. So using this relation, I alpha sin omega t minus IL beta cos omega t and IL alpha cos omega t minus IL beta sin omega t. So after finding out IL alpha, IL beta, then we can convert this into ILD and ILQ, that is in DQ domain. So ILD, now whatever we will get, it has fundamental component and harmonics component. Similarly, ILQ has fundamental component and harmonic component. So ILDA and ILQA are fundamental active and reactive load current. LDA means active load current, and this is LQA means reactive load current and fundamental. And this hat ILD hat and ILQ hat, these are harmonic component of load current. That means we have segregated the current in D and Q domain. One is fundamental, another is harmonic component. Next is for the switching of this sound converter, we have our first objective is to generate reference signal. If our reference signal is good, then that switching will be perfect and our desired objective can be achieved. So for that, we have to, for designing or for finding out this reference signal, how to find out this reference? SONT inverter is forced to maintain ideal source current. Our objective is to maintain ideal source current by eliminating the current harmonics and reactive power component. So we have to tackle both the issue, means reactive power component and current harmonics. That's why in our reference, we have to omit this. This 0 means we have omitted our harmonics component, because ILDA plus harmonic component is there. We have omitted that harmonic component. Then this is reactive component, we have totally omitted, means reactive component having two parts. One is fundamental, another is harmonic. Both are omitted for reactive power compensation. So that means while generating reference signal, so far as our objective is concerned, that is to eliminate the current harmonics as well as for reactive power compensation. That's why we have to make this harmonics part of this ILD 0 and total this reactive part also you have to make 0. In that way, we have to take the reference signal. Then this reference signal ILD star, ILQ star is in DQ domain. So now another thing in the current case or current controller case, we have to consider this IDC component or IDC loss, so that for maintenance of DC link voltage, some component is required. So that we have to give here IDC. This is not required for voltage case. For current case, this is required. So here we have to add IDC component. So that means our ILD star and ILQ star becomes ILDA plus IDC and 0. Why 0? Here 0 means reactive power compensation. Now this is in DQ reference. Now if we convert it into alpha beta domain, then you have to use this inverse. So from this, since we are concerning about the single phase signal, so neglecting this beta component, so we will get IS star omega t, which is nothing but IS alpha star omega t, which is sin omega t into ILDA plus IDC. So in this way, we have found out our reference signal. Reference signal and sense signal, they are compared to the hysteresis current controller for generating switching signal. How? So this block diagram we'll see later on. So now in this way our SONT controller is controlled. Next is, this is for series controller. Series controller means we are concerned about the voltage case. SONT controller means concerned about the current case. So for voltage case, similarly, we have to take Vs omega t is the signal, then its delayed component by pi by 2. Say another, if this is alpha component, then delayed component by pi by 2 is the beta component. So Vs alpha and Vs beta, this signal Vs and Vs, it's delayed by pi by 2. After finding out this Vs in alpha beta domain, we are converting into DQ domain. So using this expression. So after converting DQ domain, again we will get fundamental component and harmonics component. For fundamental component for D case and harmonic component for D case, then similarly fundamental component for Q case and harmonic component for Q case. Means reactive component. So now next step is for the generation of reference signal, just like current case here. So VSD star, star means reference. So VSD star, VSQ star, we have to take this, since we are eliminating harmonics, so we have to make this 0 here. And we are also making this reactive power compensation. So these two components, both fundamental and harmonic, you have to make 0 for the Q case. Then we will get VL star and VL alpha star and VL beta star from this VSD star and VSQ star. So VSD star is VS D alpha DF and this is 0. So from this VL star equal to VL alpha star, which is nothing but sin omega t VS DF. So that means here we have neglected this beta component because we are concerned. Now question, how will get this VSDF? VSDF can be filtered out by using low pass filter. So after finding out this reference load current, this reference load current will be compared with the actual load current, then fed to hysteresis current controller for switching of the inverter. That is series case, series inverter. So this way, series inverter and short inverters are switched. So here we will use PWM current control. Okay, so whatever you have discussed, these things are shown in this diagram. Means first is say current case. So current IL signal, IL and its pi by 2 delayed version. So that fed to from alpha beta to DQ. Then we will get ILD and ILQ. This ILD contains what? This ILD contains both fundamental and harmonic component. But we have to eliminate harmonics. That's why we have to use a low pass filter, only filter out the fundamental component. Then from VPV IPV through MPPT, VDC reference generated, VDC sense VDC and reference VDC compared, passes through PI controller. In this way, IDC component is generated. So ILDA fundamental component plus IDC. We've already discussed this thing. ILDA plus IDC we have to take. Then we have to convert them from this DQ domain to alpha beta domain. But here during this conversion, ISQ equal to 0 you have to take, because reactive power compensation is also our requirement. So here alpha beta domain, so we will get whatever IS star. This IS star is the reference source current. This reference source current compared with the actual source current passes through a current controller, PWM current controller for switching signal generation, which is given to the or fed to the shunt converter or shunt inverter. Then similarly for voltage case, whatever you discuss, voltage signal pi by 2 delayed version, alpha beta to DQ domain. Through PLL, we can find out this theta for this conversion alpha beta to DQ domain. This conversion theta angle is required, that we can find out by passing this voltage signal through a PLL. Then VSD component will get and VSQ component will get. This from VSD component, our requirement is only VSD fundamental. So that we can get by passing through a low pass filter. And then DQ domain to alpha beta domain. While making DQ domain to alpha beta domain, we have to make this VSQ component equal to 0. Why? Because of reactive power compensation. Then DQ domain to alpha beta domain. Now whatever we will get, that is VL star, means VL reference. This VL reference compare with the actual VL fed to voltage control PWM converter for switching signal generation. So in this way, the switching signal generation are done for both shunt converter or say shunt inverter and series inverter of the single phase UPS. Now, another thing is, or another technique is that unit vector template generation or unit vector template scheme. So in that scheme, how we are generating switching signal, this is for series part, this is for shunt part. So same way, here we have to generate the template. How to generate the template? Let us consider first the series inverter controller. So V load M means magnitude of load current, that one value that will be multiplied with the template. How will generate template? Vs passes through PLL, whatever we'll get, this is the template. This multiplied with V means this is the U, unit template will generate. This U multiplied with the magnitude, U means this is a template, means signal. But magnitude, how much magnitude you have to multiply from here? V load M multiplied with template will get this VL star. This VL star will compare first with VS, and this VS also compared with VL. So their error whatever coming and here error whatever coming, their comparison fed passes through a PI controller, and here this is the VS and VL, their comparison both fed to the PWM current controller for switching signal generation of the series inverter. Then for the shunt case, similarly VDC star will find out from that MPPT, then VDC both compare, VL star generated passes through a PI controller, and here VS passes through PLL, here template is generated. This template and this magnitude multiplied, then we'll get this IS star. Means IS star equals to IL peak into U. So here you will get the U, here you will get the I peak. So I peak into U will give us this IS star. IS star means source current reference. This source current reference compared with the actual source current passes through PWM current controller for switching signal generation of shunt inverter. So in this way, using unit vector template scheme, the shunt and series inverters are fed with the switching signals. Now, coming to what is the problem associated with synchronous reference frame PLL, whatever discussed now, means before UVT or unit vector template we have discussed that synchronous reference frame PLL. In that PLL, what is the problem? Then how can you eradicate that problem? Generally, these synchronous reference frame PLL are the most frequently used for estimation of phase control technique. Whenever there is requirement of phase angle and frequency, we generally use this PLL. But in single phase grid voltage in alpha beta frame, say our signal is V cos omega t, then we treat as alpha domain signal Vs alpha, then we'll get Vs beta by delaying it by 90 degrees. This thing we will already discussed, so that we'll get V sin omega t. So now this Vs alpha beta domain, one is V cos omega t, another is V sin omega t. So when this alpha beta domain you want to convert into DQ domain, that means here Vs DQ means Vs D and Vs Q. Here this is the matrix to be multiplied with Vs alpha beta. So Vs alpha beta means V cos omega t and V sin omega t. So generally when this is multiplied with this Vs alpha beta domain, then what will happen if our voltage is of 1 per unit t, then what will happen regarding beta component? What you will get? This sin omega t multiplied with cos omega t and minus cos omega t multiplied with sin omega t for this beta component, and sin omega t cos omega t minus cos omega t sin omega t, beta component will become 0. But this is the case when there is no change in frequency. So beta component generally 0. But now question is, change in grid voltage, change in grid ideal frequency gives rise to non-zero Q axis voltage. How you are getting non-zero Q axis voltage? That is, initially we will not get non-zero Q axis because while frequency is constant, no change in frequency, so we'll get 0 QXs. But when change in ideal frequency is there, we'll get non-zero QXs voltage. So how? Because change in frequency incorporates phase angle phi in the beta component of grid voltage. When there is change in frequency, actually how we are getting this beta component? We are getting beta component by making delay or by creating a delay. So when there is change in frequency, then what will happen? The number of samples per cycle, initially if it is n, when frequency is constant, when there is change in frequency, this number of samples is not equal to n, it will change. Then when it will change, then when you are taking this delayed version, then phase angle error introduced at that time. Delayed version, why you are taking? For beta component. So while we are going for this beta component, when there is change in frequency, then phase angle error is introduced in beta component. So let this phase angle error in beta component is phi. So now our beta component become sin omega t plus phi. Instead of only sin omega t, it becomes sin omega t plus phi. When it becomes sin omega t plus phi, when you will convert this alpha beta to dq, then see what will happen. Here, now instead of this v sin omega t, this beta component become v cos omega t, and this become v sin omega t plus phi, v sin omega t plus phi, omega t plus phi. So when beta component become v sin omega t plus phi, and if you take v as 1 per unit, then what is our VSQ? VSQ becomes sin omega t multiplied with cos omega t and minus cos omega t multiplied with sin omega t plus phi. We have taken V as unity. So you will get VSQ component like this. But here, if our phi is small, now what is sin omega t plus phi? Then we can break it sin omega t cos phi plus cos omega t sin phi. And our if phi is small, then our cos phi becomes cos 0, say 1. So you may take this as 1 and sin phi take as phi. So now for phi small, you take cos phi as 1 and sin phi as phi. And from both these components, we may take cos omega t common, cos omega t here and cos omega t here. Taking cos omega t common, we'll get sin omega t minus, here cos omega t we have already taken common. So sin omega t into cos phi become 1. So minus sin omega t only. Then minus cos omega t into sin phi becomes phi for phi small. So we'll get this relation. Here cos omega t is there, sin omega t minus sin omega t and minus cos omega t into phi. Sin omega t get cancelled. So we'll get minus cos square omega t into phi. So that can be written as minus phi by 2, 1 plus cos 2 omega t. So that means a double frequency term is introduced. So presence of double frequency in QXs, because of this one, of grid voltage results in frequency fluctuation in source. So for that we have to use low pass filter with cutoff frequency below 2 omega t, so that this double frequency component can be eliminated, so that our performance of SRF PLL can be improved. So then what is the problem? But using a low pass filter with SRF significantly slow down the dynamics response of SRF. We'll move out of it, but it significantly slow down the dynamic response of SRF PLL. That's why we have to go for some other thing, that is notch filter based PLL. Another variant of PLL, that is notch filter based PLL, so that this double frequency term can be suppressed. And other benefit over SRF PLL is there. So here a notch filter is used to cancel any double frequency and oscillations at the output. These double frequencies are problem. That's why notch filter is used to cancel double frequency and oscillations at the output. And another thing is addition of notch filter to the conventional PLA does not introduce complexity to the system. It does not introduce nonlinearity. So simplest notch filter structure is this one. So means VS and its pi by 2 delays version, alpha beta to DQ. Now we'll get VD VQ. This VQ passes through a low pass notch filter, LPN filtering. Then we will get VQ filter. So after getting this VQ filter, this passes through. This is just a PLL. No change. This after getting this VQ filter, this is a PLL to get the theta. So in this way, our double frequency term is eliminated and no complexity is added, performance improved, no nonlinearity. So it's checking how improve all these things. So I have not shown here, only I've discussed that these are the improvements of notch filter based PLL. So then in the proposed controller is whatever PLL we have used earlier, that only replaced by notch filter based PLL. In unit vector template, we have used PLL and rest of the thing remains same. Here only instead of PLL, we have used notch filter based PLL. And rest of the thing are same. This is our proposed controller with notch filter. These are the different simulation parameters taken during simulation. Now coming to result. So simulation results for voltage seg. So see here voltage seg is created between 0.5 to 0.7. Voltage seg is created between 0.5 to 0.7. This portion 0.7. Voltage seg is created over this portion, and using this algorithm, all these three techniques. So first one is the result for SRF controller. This is the result we are getting, and for UVT, this is the result we are getting. So, but using proposed controller, this voltage now comes in level, means over this period 0.5 to 0.7. So better improvement of result in the proposed controller. This is the injected signal while implementing algorithms. Then voltage swell. Voltage swell is created from 1.5 to 1.7 over the portion 1.5 time to 1.7 voltage swell is created, means whatever voltage swelling is. This is the injected signal, but in unrectified shift, so that we'll get our voltage in level. That is using SRF, using here see some swelling is there. Here some swelling is there, and here no swelling perfectly. That means whatever level here before 1.5, same level after 1.5, that is using proposed controller. This is regarding simulation results for voltage harmonics. So voltage harmonic is created over the period 0.4 to 0.2 to 0.4. Over the period 0.2 to 0.4, voltage harmonics is created. So this is the injected signal to eliminate harmonics, and harmonics is eliminated. And using all these algorithm SRF, this is UVT, and this is proposed controller. So these are the results for voltage harmonic elimination. Now coming to current harmonic elimination. This is the distorted load current with harmonics. And after using our techniques, SRF controller, this is the source current where harmonics free. And this is the UVT, and this is the using proposed controller. Now coming to experimental setup or experimental verification of this control techniques. So these are the different equipments used, means back-to-back converter as UPQC, loads, and these are the sensor board. This is the DSpace, then host PC. These are the voltage and current sensor. In this way, experimental setup has been created in the laboratory. And these are the different parameters used for developing this experimental setup. And this is the experimental result So voltage sag over this portion means whatever voltage level is there, now voltage is reduced, voltage sag is created. So our control algorithm SRF controller eliminates sag, but still sag is there. This level voltage is not same as to that of this previous one. So UVT controller also improves this voltage sag, whatever there, now it improves, but still sag is there. But using proposed controller, this is completely at level, whatever before sag created, same level after sag also. This is voltage swelling case. Over this portion, voltage level increases. So this swelling also eliminated using SRF, UVT, but still swelling are there. This level, this voltage is not same as this voltage, but in the proposed controller, level is perfectly same. So voltage swell is completely eliminated. This is regarding experimental results for voltage harmonics mitigation. So voltage signal having this much of harmonic means non-sinusoidal. So SRF controller is coming to signal sinusoidal, but still different glitches are there. Here also UVT little bit less, but here it is sinusoidal with very less glitch. So this is for current harmonic elimination. Previous one was for voltage harmonic. This one for current harmonic elimination. This is the load current, highly distorted. Now this is the source current. After implementing this algorithm with SRF controller, still it is not perfectly sinusoidal. This is using UVT controller. Also some glitches are there. This is more or less means this is sinusoidal, but still little bit glitches are there in the experimental results. So coming to THD comparison, load current THD before compensation is 28.57 and source current THD 4.1%. This is 3.5. This is using SRF, this is using UVT, and this is using proposed controller, very much reduced 2.8% within IEEE standard of 5%. Now, whatever we have discussed, this is regarding single phase UPQC. Now coming to three phase PV UPQC. So in three phase PV UPQC, this is our source having three phase VGA, VGB, and VGC. This is our three phase nonlinear load. These are the two converters, or say inverter, series inverter, and shunt inverter, or say series compensator, shunt compensator. So these two compensator or inverters are connected through a DC link, and this DC link volt means this DC link capacitor is fed through a PV. And now these are the signal means from this series compensator, the signal is fed to the line through this transformer, and from the shunt compensator, current is fed at the VCC to improve this current quality. And other L, R, or these are the interfacing inductor, resistor, both for shunt compensator. These LF, these are interfacing inductor for shunt, and these LR, these are interfacing inductor for series. So VSEA, VSEB, VSEC are the compensating signal fed through transformer. This ISHA, SHV, SHC, these are the compensating current signal fed at the VCC point to improve current quality. So this is regarding configuration of PV fed UPQC. So here generally what we will do in the control of PV integrated UPQC system. Here suitable controller required to smoothly and efficiently perform the operation of power quality improvement along with the power flow management. So here our objective is both power quality improvement and power flow management between grid, PV, and load. So PV is there, grid is there, load is there. So how to manage the power flow, that is also a requirement, power flow management as well as power quality improvement. So basically control technique used for generating the reference signal that we have discussed in single phase also. So reference source current for switching of shunt compensator And similarly, reference series injected voltage for switching of the series compensator. This thing we have already discussed during single phase UPQC discussion. Generated control signal objective under dynamic as well as static condition to maintain unity power factor operation at PCC. That means source current and voltage should be in phase, and to get purely sinusoidal load voltage with rated magnitude. Magnitude should not fall. DC link voltage regulation or maintenance. And last one is the power balance between PV grid and load. So now coming to why variable leaky least mean square based control algorithm. Here in this discussion, we'll discuss one control algorithm, that is variable leaky least mean square for this switching signal generation of both the inverters. For both the inverters, same algorithm we will use or we will discuss. Now question, why we have to go for this algorithm for this switching signal generation of the inverters of UPQC. First thing is conventional algorithms such as IRPT, instantaneous reactive power theory, or synchronous reference frame. These give unsatisfactory performance under dynamic condition. Means when there is no unbalancing, maybe in the source side or load side, no unbalancing, no sudden change in the load. So at that time, this conventional technique may perform well, but when this dynamic condition comes, sudden variation in load, sudden load means there is unbalancing in the source side, in source voltage. So this type of situation, dynamic situation, this algorithm give unsatisfactory performance. So for that, control scheme based on soft computing techniques such as neural network are more adaptive. How adaptive neural network? This thing we'll discuss. Quickly respond to the dynamic change. Computations is simple and eliminates the need for low pass filter. In the SRF algorithm, we have used low pass filter, we already discussed. So this low pass filter use is eliminated. More adaptive means whenever situation changes, it adapt that situation. When there is dynamic condition, it adapt that condition. Quickly respond to dynamic change. So for this benefit, we have to go for this neural network based technique. So this VLLMS algorithm is a neural network based soft computing technique. It provides faster convergence rate without drifting the weight parameter. This is one of the important thing of this VLLMS algorithm, without drifting the weight parameter. Means weight parameter will not go beyond the limit. So for that, how it does? For that, some regularization parameter is taken in the objective function. So this thing already means we have discussed in one of our paper, that is IET science measurement technology. This VLLMS algorithm, how weight drifting is checked. So now I'm not covering, just showing or just informing that the VLLMS algorithm has the advantage of without drifting the weight parameter. Weight parameter are not drifted with their limit. So because of all these advantages, we have to go for VLLMS algorithm for switching signal generation of both the inverters in UPQC. Now, what is VLLMS algorithm? How it adapts? This is the general structure of VLLMS algorithm. Generally, this is the input fed to a filter. So when input is fed, and this is here you get the updated weights, say W. So W into input will give us the output. This output may not be our desired output. So our desired output may be something else. So our desired output and this whatever output we'll get, both are compared, then error signal is generated. So when error signal is generated, these errors are used to update step size and leakage factor. So this error is used to update step size as well as leakage factor. So after updating the step size, leakage factor, then weight is updated. And for this weight updation, this error is required. So using this error and updated step size, updated as leakage factor, this weight is updated. So after this weight is updated, this updated weight multiplied with input signal to get our output. This output again may not be same as our desired output, then error generated. In this way, the process will continue in VLLS algorithm for getting the output. So this scheme is used here. How this algorithm is used for this control signal generation in our both the inverters. So these are the equation y n plus 1 t. This y n plus 1 instant equals to w means weight. Transpose means for multiplication. W transpose into x. Then what is error? Error is the desired output minus this output. And this weight is updated using this relation. In this relation, mu is updated, gamma is updated. And how gamma is updated? This is the equation how gamma is updated. And this is the equation how mu is updated. For this mu updation, again P is required. What is P? P is the autocorrelation error, means error between error instant, present instant, previous instant. That autocorrelation is P. So this P is updated in this way. So P is updated, mu updated, gamma updated, finally weight are updated using.
Hello, sir. It is not audible, sir.
Sushobhan, actually suddenly our power cut, so just be with us, sir will be joined soon. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes.
Because of power fluctuation problem is there, I'm sharing my slide again. Arnav sir, am I
Yes, sir.
audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
So now my slide is visible.
Yes, sir. It's properly visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we are discussing regarding how this VLLMS algorithm was used. Means this is the general structure of VLLMS algorithm. So these are the different equations. So that means how we'll update different means leakage factor, then step size, then what is our final updation equation. Means this is output y equals to weight into input, then error equals to desired output minus output, then this is the final updation of weight w, but for this updation of w, mu updation is required, gamma updation is required, and updation P updation is required. What is P? P is the correlation error, autocorrelation of present error and previous error. So in this way, P updated, mu updated, gamma updated, and finally W, which is our requirement, the W is updated. So after getting the final updated weight of W, that W is multiplied with input to get the output. In this way, this algorithm works. So now we'll see how this algorithm is used or implemented here. So this is the structure of VLLMS based control scheme for shunt compensator. So we'll discuss this structure after discussing these expressions. Then it becomes more clear. So first step is how we'll get in phase and quadratic unit template of source voltage. Let our source voltage is VSA SB SC. So from source voltage VSA SB SC, we'll find out peak amplitude of the PCC voltage, that is VSP. So we'll find out VSP from source voltage VSA SB SC. That is peak amplitude of the PCC voltage. So after finding out VSP, VSA by VSP will give us UPA. Similarly, VSB by VSP will give EPB. So these are in phase components of source voltage. UPA, PB, PC. Then after getting UPA, PB, PC, you will get UQA, QB, QC using this relation. So after getting this all UPAs, then we will give input to VLLN's algorithm this UPA, PB, PC, just like our X we have discussed in general structure. So that X is here UPA, PB, PC. And just like our D, that is output, desired output, that is D in the general structure. Here our desired output is load current ILA, LB, LC. Now, whatever these 5 equations we have discussed in the general structure, these equations are here. W updation, in the W updation, that is magnitude of fundamental active component of load current of phase A. WPA, A stands for phase A, P stands for active component. So magnitude of fundamental active component of load current using VLLN's algorithm, this is our equation. So for this equation, error is IL is our desired output. So ILA minus UPA into WPA. So this is our estimated output. This is our desired output. So this difference is the error. And these are all these leakage factor, then step size, then autocorrelation. All are updated. Final updation is WPA. So in this way, we'll find out our magnitude of fundamental active component of load current, which is WPA. Then same way we proceed and we have to find out the fundamental active component of load current of phase B and C, that is WPB and WPC. Same way we have to find out. This is regarding active component, means WPA, PB, PC. WPA, PB and PC. Then comes the WQA, QB, QC, that is reactive component. So extraction of fundamental reactive component of load current. So in order to get or in order to extract fundamental reactive component, we have to feed input to VLLN's algorithm that reactive component, that is UQA, UQB, UQC instead of UPA, PB, PC. And our desired output is ILA, LB, LC. Then similarly, we have to proceed updated weight WQA, this expression. For that, all are updated like this. So in this way, we'll find out WQA. Then similarly, we can find out WQB and WQC. So that means our weight component of ABC, that is active component, and weight component reactive, that is WQ, ABC, are over. So after getting this, we'll take the average. Average of fundamental active component means average equals to fundamental active component average, WP average equals to all the P component WPA, PB, PC by 3, and WQ average equals to all the Q component sum divided by 3. So now in this way, we'll find out that is average of fundamental active and reactive component over. Next is, we have already discussed in single phase case that IDC is component required to maintain DC link voltage while determining that source current. Similarly, here 3-phase case also, we have to give some weight for this DC link voltage maintenance. That part is W loss. Here, there also we can write IDC or I loss. Here we mention this as W loss. So W loss, how to find out? EDC, that is DC link error, equals to VDC reference minus whatever VDC, that is error. This error fed to a PI controller, KP into this one, KI into this one, PI controller, previous component, and this component add, then we'll get the final weight. This is W loss component. Just like IDC in single phase case, similar component here for three phase case, W loss component. Now another thing is part of the active current demand of the load is provided by PV array. Since we have used PV array to fit the DC link voltage, that means some demand of the load is also supplied by the PV array. So that's why PV array component we have to consider. So that is called WPV. WPV equal to 2 PPV by 3 VSP. How we are getting this relation? We are getting this relation from three phase power. 3 VI cos phi. WPV is nothing but the current component. This W loss is nothing but a current component. So like this, 3 VI cos phi from that relation will get this WPV. So now you obtain WP average, WQ average, W loss, and WPV. Four things we obtain. So next step is total magnitude of active component reference current. Total magnitude of active component reference current we have to consider while we are talking about active component, we have to consider active part only. Active part means WP average and W loss are added, WPV subtracted. Why? Because they are taking power and PV is giving power. That's why negative, they are positive. We are using this type of sign convention. So that we can call as WSP. That is total magnitude of active component of reference source current. Then total magnitude of reactive component of reference source current, WSQ. Because two components required, one is active component, another reactive component. That should be equals to minus WQ average because we are compensating the reactive power, that's a minus sign. So now our WSP we have already taken WSP over and WSQ over. So after finding out this WSP and WSQ, then we have to find out our resultant reference source current. How to find out? Resultant reference source current for all the phases means A phase, B phase, and C phase. So A phase equals to WSP, previous slide we have discussed, into UPA, WSP into UPB, WSP into UPC. UPC in the very first step we have calculated, UPA, PBPC. Then reactive component similarly ISP, ISQA, ISQB, ISQC. So these reactive component equal to, for that you have to multiply WSQ. So WSQ, and here instead of UPA, UQA you have to multiply it. Similarly WSQ, UQB, WSQ, UQC. So in this way, resultant source current for ISP ABC, ISQ ABC calculated. Then finally, ISA, ISB, ISA star, ISB star, ISC star equal to sum of both active component and reactive component. That is ISPA, ISQA, ISPB, ISQB like this. So in this step, we have calculated the reference source current, that is ISABC star. That is ISA star, SB star, SC star. This ISA star, SB star, SC star compare with sense source current. What is sense source current? ISA, SB, SC. So SA, SB, SC compared with SA star, SB star, SC star. Then error fed to hysteresis current controller for switching signal generation of UPQC. So in this way, the switching signal of UPQC are generated. So now these whatever steps we have discussed, these things are implemented here and here. See, in the first step, VSA, SBSC taken, then calculation of in phase and quadratic component, that is UPA, UPB, UPC, then UQA, UQB, and UQC. Then using this estimation of WPA, WPB, WPC, WQA, QBQC. So this is WPA, WPA, PB, PC. All these three average we have taken. This is WP average. This is say WP average. WP average. Then then similarly WQA, QB, QC 1/3 minus sign you have taken. In this way WSQ calculated. But here after finding a WP average, VDC reference, VDC compared to a PI controller, W loss. So W loss, WP average and minus this is WPV. We have discussed this equation. This equals to WSP. So in this way WSP calculated, WSQ calculated. This WSP fed here. WSP, WSP. Then WSQ, SQ, SQ. These are used for calculation of WPA. So in this way, and calculation of WPA and ISPA star, ISPA, ISPB, ISPC. So here ISPA and ISQA, it becomes ISA star. Similarly, ISPB, ISQB, ISB star. See this we discuss, so ISC star. These are the reference source current. These reference source current compared with the actual or sense source current. Their error fed to hysteresis current controller for switching signal. This is all about shunt controller. Then similar thing for series compensator or voltage controller. So same way you have to proceed for extraction of fundamental in-phase component. UPA, UPB, UPC is the input, but only difference is here. Instead of load current, here source voltage are the desired output, because we are finding out the control signal for voltage source, means for this series inverter, means we are concerned about the voltage signal here. That's why the desired output is voltage signal. And same way, magnitude of fundamental in phase current, that is WVPA, we'll find out in this way. For that, all the operations are like this. This is WVPA, similarly WVPB and VPC. That is for B and C component we have to find out. Then extraction of fundamental quadrature component. So for quadrature component, this is WQA, QB, this is UQA, QB, QC input, and this voltage is the desired output. And similarly WVQA, WVQB, and VQC you have to calculate. And these are the steps for updating, and finally we'll get WVQA. This is WVQA, then this is WVQB, and this is WVQC. So after finding out all these, just like previous case, here WVP average equals to sum of WVP divided by 3. WVQ average, sum of WVQ A, B, C divided by 3. So after this step, so here total magnitude of fundamental component of reference load voltage is how much? This is active component, this is reactive component. Sum of active component square plus reactive component square root over will give us the magnitude of fundamental component of reference load voltage. This is the magnitude. Our desired magnitude is say VLM star. That means if sag and swell happens, then this our desired, if sag happens, then our desired magnitude is more. This magnitude is whatever we are getting is less. So this minus this into unit template is the compensating signal generated. That's why for sag swell compensation, one component, that is VSC sag swell, which is nothing but VLM star, that is desired value, minus WV calculated, multiplied with U. U is nothing but unit template, just like sin omega t minus 120, sin omega t plus 120 template. Template multiplied with magnitude will give us this signal. Similarly, for harmonic compensation, VS ABC may be with harmonics, this is the signal, then this is WV, whatever calculated, multiplied with unit template, you will get this signal. This signal is to be subtracted from our this sense voltage signal. Then in this way, compensating signal generated for harmonic compensation. Since we want both sag swell to be compensated as well as harmonics to be compensated. These two are to be added. So VSC ABC means total reference series compensator voltage for each of the phase. We have to add VSC harmonic case, VSC sag swell case. For A phase, similarly VSC harmonic B phase, sag swell B phase, C phase, and sag swell C phase. So in this way, so means voltage, source voltage compensated means reference series injected voltage. AC means series injected voltage or compensated voltage. Star means reference. In this way, these things are generated, and actual series injected voltage is VSC ABC. They are compared, error fed to hysteresis current controller for generating of switching pulses. So these things, whatever I discussed, these are implemented in this block. So VSA SBSC source voltage, from this we will calculate in phase and quadrature component, means UPA, UPB, UPC. Similarly, UQA, QB, QC. Then WVPA, all the steps discussed, how to find out WVPA, VPB, VPC. All these three WVP, ABC, they are average, divided by 3 will give you WP average. Similarly, WVQ, ABC divided by 3, this give you WQ average. So this square plus this square root over, that is amplitude calculation, will give us WV. This WV subtracted from our desired load voltage VLM star multiplied with unit template, then we'll get the signal VSC signals for sag swell. Then this WV now multiplied the template, here we'll get the signal. This signal compared with VS ABC actual, their error, that is the VSC harmonic signal. So this is VSC harmonic signal, this is VSC sag swell signal. These two are added to generate VSC reference signal. This VSC reference signal compared with the actual VSC fed to hysteresis current controller for switching signal generation to series compensator. So in this way, switching signal for series compensator generated. Now these are the different parameters taken during simulation. Now coming to result, performance of PVPQC under voltage sag and swell conditions. See, this is our actual signal, means from 0 to say 0.1, the actual signal. From 0.1 to 0.15, sag is there. Then actual signal. Then from 0.2 to 0.25, say swell is there. So our objective is to mitigate both sag and swell. So for that we have to inject signal. This is the injection signal VSC, VABC, AC. How generated AC, that we have discussed now. This is the injected signal to compensate sag, and this is the injected signal to compensate swell. Then after that our load voltage become, this is our load voltage sinusoidal and at the level. And in this operation, DC link voltage is maintained constant. Now coming to performance under highly distorted grid voltage. See, this is our source voltage up to this level. This is okay. Now from 0.1 to 0.2, there is more distortion of the grid voltage. So in order to compensate this distortion, we have to inject signal. This is our injection signal using our control algorithm. So after injection of this signal, we'll get this load voltage profile, means maintained throughout. Before 0.1, after 0.1 also. And even if in this operation, DC link voltage is maintained constant. And here these are the TSD 31.62% when distortion is there, and 1.27% when distortion eliminated. Next case is the performance under nonlinear load condition. Here see, the load current is highly distorted from our sinusoidal signal. So in order to make this load current sinusoidal, we have to inject signal. This is the current injected by shunt compensator using our control algorithm. So after injecting this signal, this load current becomes source current, this one, pure sinusoidal signal. And even if in this operation also, the ceiling voltage is maintained constant. So for 14.73 is the load current before compensation, 1.5 is the THD, 1.5 is the THD after compensation. And this is the figure showing unity power factor operation at PCC, that is grid current red one, grid voltage blue one, both are in phase. Next is the performance of shunt compensator under dynamic condition. Here see, load current at this level of 2.12 second, suddenly load current increases. This is the level of load current from 0.1 to 0.24. So this is the source current up to 0.12, then source current decreases. So that means extra PV power fed to the grid is reduced. Extra PV power fed to the grid is reduced to meet the increasing load demand. Since load demand is more, so extra PV current, what was fed to the grid earlier, when load demand is less, now that grid current is reduced because PV has to meet the load demand. That's why fed to the grid is reduced. That's why this level is like this, reduced. So under dynamic condition of load variation, PV PQC system feeds the increasing load demand along with power quality improvement. So this is the signal, shunt injected signal, so that it meets the load demand and also improves the current quality. Both the action done. With this much of injection signal, load demand is satisfied and this signal is also improved, signal quality or current quality improved. This is the case for under unbalanced condition. See, this is unbalanced, that load current one is at this level, another is this level. So highly unbalanced load current. Even if in the unbalanced load current case, this is the shunt compensator current or injected current, then we will get this source current. So highly unbalanced load condition, shunt compensator compensate the disturbance in load current and provide sinusoidal grid current with regulated DC voltage. This is the performance of the system during negligible solar irradiance. So see, till the time 0.1, say this is night mode, and 0.1 to 0.16 day mode. So say during night mode from t equal to 0.04 to 0.1 second, PV generated power is negligible. PV generated power in the night mode is negligible. PV generated power is negligible. The total load demand is supplied by the grid. Since PV power is negligible, the load demand is supplied by the grid. And reactive power compensation, harmonic mitigation, and DC voltage regulation is done by the shunt controller of the UPQC during night mode. Then during day mode, what will happen? This is the injected current. During day mode, what will happen? 0.1 to 0.16. Along with all the three operations, means reactive power compensation, harmonic mitigation, and DC link voltage regulation. Along with all these, UPQC performs the extra function of providing PV generated power to meet the active power demand of the load. See, in the day mode, PV current is more. So in order to meet the load demand, it also feed current. So that's why this current is reduced. So whatever required by the load is fed by PV. Then the power flow analysis of the system under varying PV power generation. So let's consider a system PV power generation is more than load demand. So say here PV power is blue line, load is this yellow line, and grid power is red. See, when PV power is more, this level, load is less, then extra power is taken by the grid. That's why this grid is at negative. And in the reverse case, PV generation is less than load demand. PV is blue, so blue is less than load demand. Load demand is our red. So PV is less level, red is means here more. Then what will happen? Grid power. So both active load power requirement is fulfilled by grid and PV array. Both grid and PV array made the load requirement. But in both the cases, reactive power demand of the load is provided by the shunt compensator. See here, red one is the grid reactive power. This is the case for power generation is more. PV power is more case. So here, this is the grid reactive power at the zero level, and shunt injected reactive power and load reactive power, they are merging. So that means these are balancing. Whatever means the reactive power demand of the load is provided by the shunt compensator. They are balancing. And here also, in this case, that is when generation is less than demand, this is the grid reactive power at zero, and both are merging. That is shunt injected reactive power and load reactive power. This is a case of comparison of tracking performance of variable leaky least mean square, that is this proposed algorithm based control, and variable step size least mean square based control. So here you can see that this blue one is VSS and this red one is VL. So the shunt controller with VL LMS based control is tracking the fundamental active current. This is the tracking fundamental active current more accurately with minimum oscillation. Oscillation is more in blue case, without use of any low pass filter as compared to VSS. More oscillation there, here less oscillation in tracking. That is tracking performance. This is for shunt controller. Then this is for series controller. C. Series controller with VLLMS algorithm is tracking the fundamental component of source voltage with negligible oscillation. Red one negligible oscillation, but more oscillation in blue one, that is VSS LMS, variable step size LMS. This is just a comparison. Now coming to experimental setup. So whatever you have discussed, this algorithm implemented in DSpace environment. This is the laboratory prototype developed in our laboratory. These are the different parameters of different equipments used. So coming to experimental results, this is harmonic ridge load current for 3 phases A, B, C. And this is the source current after compensation for 3-phase ABC. So TSD 32.42% before compensation and now 2.33%. This is PV PQC under grid voltage disturbance, means voltage sag case, and this is voltage swell case. So even if voltage sag is there, compensator able to maintain voltage. Voltage swell is there, compensator able to maintain the voltage. This is the case when there is increase in solar irradiance. Say irradiance increases over this period. When there is increase in solar irradiance, this leads to increase in grid current. When solar irradiance increases, grid current little bit increases. And similarly, decrease in solar irradiance, grid current decreases. The performance of PV/VPC under varying solar irradiance. Now coming to conclusion. The proposed control strategy for UPQC, whatever I discussed, that is VLLMS based UPQC, able to deal with all the power quality issues such as sag, swell, harmonics, unbalancing, distortion, all the cases able to tackle. And proposed control scheme for PV/PQC discussed under different dynamic condition in addition to steady state, both simulation case as well as experimentation case. Shunt compensator working satisfactorily under dynamic load condition and make the grid current sinusoidal. We have already seen so many cases grid current becomes sinusoidal after implementation of this shunt compensator. It also compensates the reactive power demand. So we have also seen those results. And load voltage is maintained at the rated value by series compensator under certain variation in grid voltage level also. Even if sag and swell is there, so after compensation, it maintains the voltage. TSD of source current well within the IEEE standard. These are the references. This paper means this whatever I discussed VLLMS algorithm. This paper already accepted in IEEE transaction and industry application recently. Thank you. If you have any query, you may ask.
Hello, any queries from participants end? Is there any queries from participants end? Okay, so I think there is no query from their side. So if you have any kinds of doubt, okay, so you can also